All right, everybody, welcome back to the ending of day 4 of Taskbar Heroes. We've been farming for a little bit since the last video. As you can see, got some loot here, lots of red dots here, about 4 rows worth of loot. Let me start by telling you what the goal is for the ending of day 4. I've got about 4 hours in me before I'm going to go to bed. Got about 4 hours. The goal is extremely... We're going to try to actually make a shorter video that's kind of more very specific goal oriented, and we know exactly what's going on, and we're not going to go crazy here. We're not going crazy. All we're going to try to do is set up for the ending of the night, overnight, and what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to end in a level 45 stage zone area. Now, we have, of course, progressed in this Let's Play amazingly. Today, we literally started in Act 3 normal today, and we're almost in one day to Act 3 Nightmare, which I absolutely did not expect at all. It's absolutely insane. So we managed to get all the way up to 2.9. Now, currently, when I go to 2.9 currently, let's pop over there, it's not pretty. The Priest is doing basically okay against most of the packs, but what happens is in these 2.8 and 2.9 zones, it's really crazy. There's these fire monsters, if anybody watched the last video, that just absolutely obliterate my upfront Priest tank, and we can't give her. There they are. Okay, they're dealing 39 damage a pop. They attack pretty quickly, and as you can see, they kind of hang out in the back of the area. You know, most of the damage is being kind of concentrated more so in the front of the area, and then the Priest just gets hammered. Now, I have the Priest doing this just back to the basic heal, because I found that when the Priest does the area heal, this area, the characters keep moving forward really quickly a lot, so the area heal, it just wouldn't really work. And now, unfortunately, I've just not been able to get past, so far at least, get past this 2.9 area. Let me add a little bit more healing also. My Priest actually leveled up to 36. Let me allocate a healing point there. So this is probably about the furthest we've got. So our primary, we've basically only got like really 1 or 2 very small goals. We've only got 4 hours, so it may not happen because it may require a decent amount of powering out. But the first goal is getting past this zone area stage 2.9. And I think this is actually the farthest we've got so far. This is actually kind of crazy. Let's see how far this goes. I feel like there may be a little bit of a luck aspect with this map as far as like how many of those fireball guys appear. I don't know if when you play a stage every time, I don't know if it's like totally random or how it works, but sooner or later, eventually, a bunch of those fire guys are all going to pop all in a row, and our Priest is basically going to get, just shot totally down all the way from roughly full life to 0 life. And so I won't show us running it at every time. Thanks to the power of video editing, we'll kind of skip forward to the more important parts. And then we'll kind of just track how far we've been able to get in stage 2.9 and kind of what build we're using. And the goal is we just need to basically beat this stage one time. Are we going to actually beat this on the first run? I couldn't even get close last time. I'm going to be honest, I don't know why we're getting so far. Okay, there's 2 of those fireball guys. Okay, managed to get past. Now, I think what's going to happen is we're going to hit like 3 in a row. There's 1. Okay, able to get back healed up to full. Okay, we've got, it looks like probably 2 there. Managed to get past. Self-heal for quite a bit. Running forward. Okay, we made it to basically the halfway point. Okay, this is actually a lot farther than last time. Okay, so the first goal, we've only got... Oh, there's 2 in a row. Okay, Priest needs to heal here. Priest healed. The primary thing, which I thought was going to be the hardest thing in the video, is just getting past the stage. There was 2 in a row. Okay, got past. Should have enough time to heal, I have a feeling here. Yep. Probably going to get a heal pretty soon on the Priest. Oh, there's the heal. Okay. Oh, there's 1 fire. I'll bet you another one's probably going to be coming pretty soon. Priest, okay. Heals up. Good. Okay. I was not expecting this. I thought this was going to take us the whole night to basically get past this zone. But it looks like our setup is basic. Oh, there's 2. Oh, no. There's 2. Oh, they're dead. Oh, got the heal. So this is what happens. You saw there was 2 that spawned right next to each other, and it just doesn't give enough time for the Priest to heal or for my guys to basically DPS everybody. Oh God, there's 2 again. Oh no. Priest heals. We're almost there. All right, so we've gotten about to the edge of this blue orb in terms of our progress. Can we get to the end? Once we can just one time clear out this stage 2.9. Oh boy, big pack of monsters. Priest gets the heal. Okay, it looks like this could be the one. Once we get past here, okay, let me actually go ahead and finish here. Oh, well, oh no. There's 2. Okay, managed to get them both down. Thank goodness. Now the priest should... Okay, got a heal coming. The heal will come as soon as the next area pops. Oh, okay, there's 2 in a row. Oh, there was 3, I think, in a row, and the priest is down. And that's it. There's 5 in a row. Wait a second. Wait a second. Can the ranger and the sorcerer... No, not taken down by some... There was 5 in a row, I think, towards the end. All right. Well, we managed to get about to the middle-ish of this blue orb, so I won't show you the full run every time, but that is what happened. There was about 5 of them in a row. It basically checks your fire resistance, I would say. So on the priest, we're pretty much looking for fire resistance right now. I think if we could get a little bit more fire resistance, probably can get past this zone. As we can see, we're actually pretty close. We've been farming for a little bit. Let's go ahead and look at through the gear we've got and go ahead and talk about our XP per hour and kind of our plans. High level goal though is to beat this zone 2-9, see if we can beat the Act 2 boss. We may or may not be able to, but as long as we can beat this zone 2-9 once, or let's just say consistently, that's going to be where we're going to leave it for overnight. We're just going to farm 2-9. If we manage to be able to beat the Act 2 boss, if anybody was here for the last video or two, we actually, a couple of videos, we were actually in normal mode Act 3, and we were farming, I believe it was stage 3-1 overnight, because the XP gain was absolutely insane in that zone. I think the number one best possible outcome would be that we beat 2-9, beat the boss, and we're able to start farming, and then I'll just start working on a farming setup for zone 3-1. Now, if that is not possible, then what we will end up doing instead of that is we will end up just doing farming 2-9 as long as we can get it set up, and so either way, we're still going to be trying to get that win on 2-9 no matter what, and just kind of get that farming set up. Okay, now a final note for what we're going to do today. In terms of experience gain, right now the levels are taking about 20 some odd million experience per hour. As you can see, I've got my little logs here. These are my setup showing I was farming a couple different zones, trying a couple different zones out. Now, if you look here, our priest died way earlier that time, nowhere near. So there's definitely some bit of kind of luck aspect, it looks like, as far as how many of those things spawn. I wonder if when you get to that the blue orb area around this kind of middle of the blue orb, I wonder if you always get like 5 or 6 of those darn fireball guys in a row. That would be kind of unfortunate if so, but I guess we'll find out. Maybe that was just bad luck, and if it was, maybe we can just kind of luck our way to the end of this zone here and just kind of get a win by chance. And then if we could beat the boss, then we're just home free into Act 3-1, which will be our farming area. So what I did also before we started this video, I tested a couple different zones to see how good the experience is. We can actually, the first zone I started with was actually this Nightmare 2-9, and I got 2 items, and it looks like they're both requiring level 40, which is interesting, because I'm assuming there's level 45 gear. And the reason why I wanted to actually sit in farming 2-9 is because I am assuming that there is level 45 gear. If there's not level 45 gear, that actually changes things a lot. And if that's the case, then I'll just pick the best level 40 zone, most likely, or again, zone 3-1 if we manage to get there. But I really wanted to sit in 2-9 because I was assuming that there's level 45 gear. But the 2 chests I got in 2-9 were both level 40, so maybe once again there's just not level 45 gear, which is gonna be really crazy if that's the case. Now, when I farmed, I did about 10 minutes in each one, and I checked to see how much experience per hour we're getting. So in 2-9, even with all of the deaths I was getting, I still was getting about 16 and basically 0.66 repeating, of course, million XP per hour. Then farmed a little bit over in zone area 2-8, which is the one right before here, which we can mostly manage to kill, I think, at this point. Okay, similarly, about the same. It was actually 17.16, basically exactly the same, 17 million per hour in that zone. We did get a really nice drop also. Let's take a look at what we've got here. So we've got requires level 40 gloves that give you 10% increased attack speed and 22% crit damage. Okay, that's huge. That will be absolutely going on our ranger. That'll be a huge upgrade from an 8% attack speed all the way up to a 10 and more crit damage, and we'll have 2 decoration slots, and we will probably go ahead and actually use those 2 decoration slots. Although it does have 174 armor, so if for some reason that 174 armor was enough to maybe take 1 less damage on the priest, I guess it's possible we could do that. So, all right, so first we did, as I said, we tried 2-9. It was about 16 2/3 million XP per hour. Tried 2-8, about 17.16. I've actually got it written down here. So about the same. Okay, it went down to 2-7. Is 2-7 any better? 2-7 was better. It was 19.83 million, so about 20 million XP per hour. So that is a potential zone for us to be farming 2-7. Okay, also, and then I went way down because you know, you got to just test this stuff out. Went to zone 2-1, and crazy enough, 2-7 took about 300 seconds to complete, was giving about 20 million per hour, 19.83, and then 2-1 was taking only 218 seconds, a huge reduction in time, but was giving me 18.4 million per hour, was actually substantially worse. And then finally, I just tried one more. I tried 1-9, which was where we started this video, right before this, we got started here. I recorded 20.88 million experience per hour here in zone 1-9. So it looks like, so we basically got 2 zones, and all of these are level 40 and above. So this stage 1-9 is level 40 and above, all good. And then a 2-7 also. So we will either be in 1-9 or in 2-7. May check the XP a couple times throughout the night to see which one's better. And then the goal will be progressing through that, trying to get through that 2-9. And so that's basically it. So now in this video, all we have to do from here is I'm basically just going to show upgrades I do, kind of some game planning. The game plan is I have to be able to get the priest to survive those darn fireball guys when you get a big stretch of a bunch of them in a row, which you just saw. That's how we can't get through 2-9. And so a little bit of strategy, maybe trying a couple different strats out, seeing how they work. I'll do all this, you know, in between video editing, and we'll go over everything in little snapshots of kind of the highlights. Here is my plan. And then also just getting to enjoy a bunch of loot drops. So and we'll go through some of these because these are all kind of new things, bunch of level 40. Everything's basically level 40 here at this point. For example, okay, got a decoration material. We're going to end up using that decoration material is going to get used, I'm sure. We're at the point where we're using pretty much all of our decoration materials. Stash, you know, fills up pretty quick, and we've started going hard on the decoration materials. Got 8 now on the priest. The ranger's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. So we're going in on those. All right, the game plan is still going to be pretty much similar, I think, where uncommons and commons, I think, will probably all get sold unless it looks like it might actually be useful for something. I don't think these do anything. Got ourselves a soul stone. I think this is our second time we've got a level 40 knight weapon, the rune sword. Will probably potentially get sold on that one. All right, the war gloves. All right, so then, you know, things like a war glove, you know, we'll see. It doesn't have any, since we're now have gotten to the point where we're actually using double decoration slots, I just don't think there's any way these could be useful unless it's got some stat for like a DPSer. That's maybe better for a DPSer. By the way, another huge thing that's going to happen, our cube is level 29. This is going to hit level 30. When this cube hits level 30, we're going to go on a little crafting spree because we should be unlocking this level 20 to level 40 crafting and synthesizing and stuff slot for both synthesis as well as for crafting, and we will be definitely using those. This is level to 30 to 40, so this actually, the crafting will likely give us some pretty massive upgrades. Be really interested to see what that unlocks. Let's see if there was anything else interesting or worthy of note here. This was back in zone 1-9 here. Is that another one? Okay, or no, we already covered that one. Okay, some commons which will get sold. All right, and that doesn't matter. Okay, for the first time, we've got, I think this is our first legendary grade crafting material. It is a Stardust ingot. I don't think we've ever seen one of those before that I can think of. Bunch of commons that'll get sold. Uncommon level 40 will get sold. Uncommon level 40 helm almost certainly will get sold. Although, see, this is what I'm talking about. This has got crit chance on it. It's possible maybe a DPSer could possibly use that for farming. And I think that's a second soul stone that we got. It is. Yes, it is. It's a second soul stone, as well as another, I think this is our second copy of a level 40 rare here. And since we're at right around 20 million XP per hour, basically got about 4 hours to get this accomplished. Every hour, we're basically going to be getting about 1 level right now, 23 million XP per level. We'll watch and see how this increases, but right now it's right around one level per hour. So we are going to still get, and priest, every 2 levels for priest right now, the priest gets 1 more damage absorption. In fact, as soon as the priest hits level 37, she's going to get 1 more damage absorption, and damage absorption is just unbelievably, hugely, massively powerful. So we'll keep that in mind. I might even try something wild and go double healing, single heal on the priest, and area heal. Got a stage treasure chest. Let's see what we got. Are you kidding me? It's the same pair of gloves. Armor 174, 10% attack speed, and crit damage. That's crazy. And then a cone staff. Okay, well, you know, we can get legendary level 40 gloves in stage 1-9, so that works. All right, so I will go ahead and go through. I'll do some inventory management. We're already almost out of inventory space, and then we'll be kind of popping in and out for trying to kind of highlight the highlights. As soon as the cube's level 30, we'll go on a little crafting spree. I think today might be the first day ever that we're actually going to start chuck a couple, maybe 9 legendaries in there and try to go ahead and get ourselves some red tier. There's Sorcerer level 37 already, so every hour. And okay, from 36, it was 23.7 million. For 37, oh my gosh, it's only 24 million. It's only a 1 million jump. So it's been huge jumps so far. And now suddenly they're kind of staying the same. So it looks like it's going to be about 1 per hour. So there is a chance we could actually hit level 40 by the end of tonight. I will keep trying to up the XP gain per hour. If I can get it high enough, up to about 24 million per hour, then, you know, once we get to that level 40, we should be able to get some huge upgrades, surely, at that point, and get past that 2.9. So let's see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and do some different work, try some different strategies and things behind the scenes, and we'll come back for the big updates and some big loot drops, some big crafting sprees, stuff like that. All right, so we are just a couple XP away from cube level 30. Let's try to go ahead and get that next. And it's funny, we still get these really terrible crafting materials, even all the way up here at this level. Like, so some of these you can't even use past this level 10 to 20 thing here. So I'll just go ahead and use a couple of these. I don't think it's going to really matter what we use here for them. Although, unfortunately, it looks like these are low enough level. It looks like maybe the cube is... Whoa, what is that? Hold on, I was thinking boots might make sense because you can get movement speed for some farming, and then suddenly we've got ourselves an immortal crate. Are you kidding me? Night boot level 15. I don't know if that's really useful at all. 22 armor, 31 max HP. Now, one nice thing here, it's got 2 decoration slots and an engraving slot. Maybe that engraving slot could be used to try and actually... Wow, there is a chance that I might actually use that. You know what? I probably should go for helms on those, since my sorcerer could actually potentially use a helm. I don't think the XP bar budged at all. I'm kind of starting to think that in order to move the XP bar, if you do things that are under the level of it, that maybe it like doesn't move it or something like that. But when you use like a level 40, it's been actually moving it quite a bit. So let's move that. Okay, this is level 10. Okay, yeah, that's that. So like that 40, as you can see, oh, it didn't move it too much. All right, well, these boots suddenly might have actually factored into the game plan because that engraving slot may actually be able to... This is my first engraving slot I've ever had on an armor. Might actually get us some fire resistance. All right, couple more drops. Alking these has been giving me pretty decent XP, so let's see if we can finally tick up that level 30 here. See how close we get here. Almost. One more 9 slot of those. Maybe if I sell a couple... Okay, here's a level 40 rune sword. Don't really need that. Hey, there we go. All right, level 30. Okay, it is time for a crafting spree. Let's take a quick look now. Okay, so for synthesis, we get to now do level 20 to 40 synthesis, which we are absolutely going to be doing. And we're going to do some probably major synthesis now, because it'll probably be a while till we hit level 40. So I think we're having some difficulties here, so I think it's totally fine. For crafting, all right, let's see what level 30 to 40 crafting looks like. Does it require the same stuff as the previous one? Okay, it actually does. It looks like it's a bronze ingot and an iron ingot for everything. And okay, the accessory is a little different. But if we go to level 20 to 30, iron ingot and bronze ingot is the same. So that's crazy. Okay, well, it's a good thing we actually have saved a few of those, I think. For a random level 20 to 30 accessory, it's a bronze ingot. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, that's for level 20 to 30. For level 30 to 40, it is it's a stardust ingot. Okay, stardust ingot. So we've got one of those. I think we've dropped exactly one. Oh, no. No, that's a void iron, which it looks like we haven't seen what that does yet still. Okay, so a stardust ingot. So we have the opportunity to craft exactly one of those. Now, would we have wanted to use these? A jade stone gives me some attack speed and all that stuff's really good. Amber gem, huge increased max XP, HP, which I might actually want. But you know what? I think since we've only got, looks like, yeah, let's try this one time. Here we go. Let's actually see if this increases our XP bar as well. It does not. Okay, what have we got? We've got a rare grade moonstone pendant. By the way, I've been waiting to get a darn amulet, and it looks like I might have finally got one. Did we finally get an amulet? Let's see. Oh, we finally got an amulet. Okay, that's the first time. So that definitely makes it worth it because that gives us a decoration spot in that little spot of our character sheet. It's the only one that we've been able to get so far, and it has increased critical chance multiplier. And I don't think we have enough to do another one. Nope, we've only got 2. Okay, so if we get... All right, good to know. So maybe we could want to hold onto this Jade and Amber. We will see. I'll go ahead and maybe move that to a different spot. All right, so that's the crafting. Decoration and engraving and everything is still the same. Inscription still the same. Removal, and what was the offering again? Oh yeah, we haven't figured out what that does yet. All right, so the next is... All right, so our next crafting spree is going to be crafting level to 30 to 40 gear, and we get to kind of make our choices because we've got some bronze, and we've also got the ability to do some of these doubles. So we'll think about that, and then also some synthesis. So I'll go ahead and queue some of that up, and we'll go ahead and see what we get here. Spin the wheel. All right, so the first thing we're going to do today, we're going to do something big. We're going to use our newly unlocked 20 to 40 synthesis. I believe, if I'm not mistaken... Oh, what just happened here? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be the first time item level is too low. Wait a second. What? I can't use requires level 10. Okay, that's new. Item level is too low. Okay. See, I thought you could just take really, really low level stuff and then end up synthesizing them, and this will just boost the level way up. But it looks like you must only be able to do 15. It must be maybe 1 tier below this or something like that. That was a 10. All right, well, we've learned, so we're gonna have to try to find something different to pop in there. All right, I guess we're gonna get rid of this level 20 warbow. It had used 2 decoration slots, but if I understand correctly, so of course we've upgraded to a level 30 legendary bow, and I don't think you can get those back. So I think we're gonna go ahead and do this. Synthesis result, item level range. Oh, wait a second, look at this. Immortal is a 99% chance, and ooh, Arcana. Ooh, chance of 2 grade Arcana. Wow, I wonder how many different grades there are. Arcana must be pretty insane. Synthesis result item range is 20 to 30. All right, this is the biggest synthesis we've done. Oh, I got a Steam achievement, successfully synthesized an immortal grade item for the first time, and it just so happened to be something that is probably going to be absolutely massive for us. That is a level 30 ranger only. Right now we're using a level 30 legendary. We've got a level 30 immortal. It's got about 50% more attack damage. It's got plus 22 instead of plus 15. And then it's, ooh, HP per hit versus 34% increased attack damage. I don't actually know if this is going to be better with that. But because it's so much higher attack damage, I guess we'll just test and see. And then it's got that engraving slot. So ultimately, because we would end up engraving it, I'm assuming this should be better. And what that means is we've now got a immortal level 30 for our sorcerer and an immortal level 30 for our ranger. I don't think we should be needing any more weapons. So I don't think we need to be crafting weapons. And so what that means is I think the best thing for us to craft honestly is going to be that sub-weapon slot, because my sorcerer is kind of outdated, level 10, and my rangers is just an uncommon level 30, and my priest I haven't crafted at all. It is really good, level 15 legendary, but I think that if we could get a better one, it would actually be probably pretty huge. So let's try crafting a couple sub-weapons. I don't know how many of these we're gonna be able, oh, this is gonna be big. Okay, what is it? It's a legendary grade rune arrow, level 40. We cannot use it yet, but that is honestly kind of huge. Can we do it again? Yes, we can. It's a rare tome. That is for the priest. It does skill heal plus 14. Okay, that's actually way worse than damage absorption, I'm pretty sure. So we probably won't be do much with that. And all we've got left now is the iron ingots, so I think we will now wait until we get another green, and we'll try these sub-weapons again, I think, for the crafting. And so with that, I think that means we're probably done crafting. Okay, we could craft a weapon, but I think we're good on weapons at this point. So yeah, we're gonna... Okay, so we're done. Just check all these real quick, make sure. Yep, nothing we can do there. And then the only final one is the accessory, and we would need that for us. So we are done with crafting. We are mostly done with synthesizing at this point. And so I think that's probably it. We'll now probably decorate and engrave that bow if it's an actual upgrade. I'll probably test out the bow a little bit, most likely, and see. Okay, so it's probably most of our cube usage for the time being. pretty good results. This Rune Arrow level 40 is going to be a massive upgrade, I think, for the Ranger. Right now we've got 21 attack speed and 15 attack damage. This is going to have 2 slots, so it already is going to beat the attack damage. Attack speed is going to go way up. Crit chance multiplier, not so important. 8% increase attack speed versus attack damage. With the 2 slots, it's definitely going to be a major upgrade, and we will definitely decorate it for sure. So I may save a couple decorations, actually, for the fact that I'm going to end up using this Rune Arrow. So, for example, I think I've still got 2 purples left. I do. I have 4 purples left, and these give physical damage plus 20 to 30. So 2 of those... Actually, I think what I'll do, I'll go ahead and throw this right here, and I'll put those 2 next to it. So that is going to get crafted with those 2, basically, for sure. And then the only other thing is if we want to go ahead and craft this bow also with 2 of those things. Wow, we've got a lot of iron ingots, but not enough of the green. So we'll be looking for a few of those, and we'll maybe try crafting a couple more sub-weapons again. And then this tome, I'll keep this tome around. But unfortunately, that damage absorption is just way too good. I think max HP, you do get some max HP, but I don't think that can't compete with +6 damage absorption, I'm quite sure. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this poisonous herb. I'm going to try to hit increased movement speed, because I think 15 to 20% increased movement speed, I think that actually pretty substantially will up our clear time and thus our XP per hour gain. Unfortunately, I will be losing the damage absorption +1 to +1.4. That would be the other thing that would be absolutely huge, massive. So it should be used for basically either one of those. But I think in this case, I'm still looking for ways to bump that XP up a little bit if I can to hit level 40 tonight. And I think that's basically just always going to be good in this game, pretty much no matter what you're doing. So the only question would be which character that would go on to, or which thing it would go on to. I think we're going to put it on the Moonstone Pendant, because this is the only pendant we've got, and we can just move it around to whoever we want. And if we don't hit, we'll hit the attack damage +2 to 3, and then we'll just slot this onto the Ranger. So this is going to be probably a pretty major thing for this account, I feel like, to be honest. Engraving. Oh, it's a decoration slot. I can't engrave it. I can't engrave it. So which one? The only one I can engrave on, okay, is the platinum ring. It's got a 4% increased attack speed. I think +2 to 3 attack damage will be totally fine in that, and it's already got the attack damage on the other ones. Okay, so this is a perfect one to engrave it on. So we'll engrave it onto this one. An empty engraving slot is required. All right, so we'll go ahead and remove that. Okay, can't do it on equipped items. Do that. Get rid of the attack speed off. Grab it back. And go over to the engraving. And let's see which one we hit here. We ended up hitting the attack damage +3. All right, so not what we were looking for, but oh well, we tried. All right, very tiny little rune upgrades here and there. I think maybe 1 level up on everybody, level 37. And I went ahead and did another, probably final test for the night. I went ahead and checked one more time against the best 2 XP zones in the previous video, which were Nightmare 1.9 and Act 2 Nightmare 2.7. And 2.7, they were both pretty similar before, but 2.7 has officially overtaken 1.9. So we are now, here we are, we're not going below 2.7 anymore, Act 2 Nightmare. The results of that quick 10-minute test in each zone is that stage 1.9 was at 21.1 million XP per hour, and 2.7 was 21.94. So pretty much 22 million XP per hour on the dot, basically. And we can still keep, we will still be able to keep pushing that up just a little bit via runes. And it's just keeping pace with the amount of XP we need per level. So we're going to be cutting it really close on hitting level 40 with every character basically right before we go to bed tonight, and which I'm imagining is going to push us over the top of being able to get past that 2.9. Let's take a look at some of this gear we got. Open up another boss chest, iron ingot. It's not the one we needed, and a war armor. So a couple uncommons here. All right, which, oh, that's a level 30 uncommon. Iron ingot, I believe that's the one that we didn't need. Now, obsidian shard. Let's take a look real quick. Okay, so this is an accessory decoration for 10 to 15% increased attack damage. Okay, that is actually kind of what we were looking for. And it's a weapon decoration of attack damage +3 to 6. This increased attack damage, I was actually kind of wanting to maybe get one more decoration going here. Yep, that's exactly what we needed. We had this Moonstone Pendant. I hadn't quite figured out what I wanted to do with it yet. I think think it'll be good. I think, yeah, this will work for attack damage, and then pop it on the Ranger, since nothing else has been jumping out to me, not particular ones. Let's go ahead and get that decoration. That'll bump us up. And every time we do any kind of little bump up, it should always increase our clear speed a little bit for how much we're going to be clearing this. I'll go ahead and figure out how many seconds it's taking us to clear this zone. Well, maybe we'll figure it out right here since we're coming up to a boss. And then I'll also start kind of working on getting that time down as well. Here on this boss kill, it is currently, okay, 294 seconds. So that is the time to beat. And then I'll pretty much sell all the rest of this. Got another soulstone, that's pretty sick. Rune helmet, I think we've got a couple of these level 40s at this point, and we won't really need too many of those. So I think that pretty well covers it for the loot. Most of that's pretty much all going to get sold, nothing too interesting. By the way, one idea I am kind of pondering, given that we're going to be cutting it so close on hitting those level 40s tonight, right before that critical time of going to bed, where we want to be in the best zone possible for that whole time. It's going to be a long time overnight that we're going to be doing some XP farming. We're probably, I have a feeling we'll be probably we may be level 45, level 50 by tomorrow. I guess tomorrow's goal will probably be level 50 and getting some pretty sick gear from Act 3 is my guess. Otherwise, I was going to say maybe we ought to go ahead and start leveling up our knight, and then what we can actually do is once the priest dies, we can actually toss the knight in there and actually kind of just barely power our way through that 2-9. I may actually go ahead and do that. Well, I'll tell you what, if we get to level 40 we still can't get through, then maybe I'll do that. So something along those lines. Or if, you know, maybe the sorcerer could go ahead and sit back a little bit, since there's not really huge upgrades for the sorcerer anymore, only these little cooldown reductions, which are not really doing anything. So, and I don't think I have any big gear upgrades upcoming for the sorcerer, so that's another idea I'm going to kind of toy with a little bit. All right, I've made very extremely minimal changes. The priest, I believe, should have one more damage absorption versus last time, which is honestly pretty huge. All right, we're about to the midway of the blue orb point. There's one fire guy, got 2 smacks in. Okay, priest healed up all the way. We're gonna find out here. I decided to go ahead and try running this again a few times. I definitely think there is some amount of luck. We're gonna see, are we gonna get hit with like that crazy wave of like 5 or however many it was of those things in a row. Ranger has, oh, there's 2. Yep, there they are. There's, what, 3? Okay, wait. Maybe I can deploy. Oh no. Oh no, I needed to deploy try deploying the knight. Wait, the knight got out there. Okay, wait. Oh no, there's 2 more. Wait, the ranger. You know what? There's actually a life leech. I've been actually thinking if I should maybe put some life leech. Wait, can I redeploy? Okay, my priest is on 45-second cooldown, and once the priest is gone, the damage just gets too low. That was the farthest we got. It looks like every time you kind of hit that wall is what it seems like. Put the priest back out here. Ah, boy. Rangers leveled up to 38. Went ahead and got to power up the ranger a little bit. Another couple points of attack speed. Got that amulet on the ranger. Another thing that I did is I went ahead and swapped my boots out, because I feel like movement speed maybe is actually kind of bad, to be honest. So I've actually lowered the movement speed of the whole gang, because but I don't know at this point. I don't know if it's good or not at this point. Because the thinking here is it gives the priest a little bit of extra charge, a little bit of extra time to charge up those heals in between the things that happen, which I feel like probably helps make it a little more consistent. We're gonna basically see if there's essentially any luck aspect here. I'm gonna just probably kind of leave it on 2-9. In fact, I may even just check the XP now for 2-9 to see if it could even be competitive with the others. If so, we can probably just leave it on here and see if maybe we can basically just get lucky. Priest is going to level up again, which will increase the heal a little bit. There's not much else we can really do. Cooldown, we could have some cooldown reduction. I don't think that's going to do it. But I think what's going to end up happening is the priest will get 1 more point before the end of the night of full damage absorption. You know what? Max HP plus 15. You know what? Maybe I don't need the damage absorption because of the fact that the priest always dies whenever the priest gets hit by such a crazy grouping of explosions. Maybe a little bit of max HP will actually be better. I may actually go ahead and experiment with that, yeah. And then, of course, there is always this Blessing of Warding, but I don't think that's going to do it. Maybe I will. Maybe that health enhancement can actually potentially get me there, because it'll help absorb a little bit more of those big impacts. All right, here comes the danger point again. We're almost there. So this run, I went ahead and actually tried. I took 4 points out of damage absorption, so every hit is doing 2 more, but we've got 60 more HP. So maybe we can tank through these spots like this. Oh. And the priest is just like a pixel away from level 38. We'll grab another. Nope, couldn't do it. Basically 4 in a row, and it's just too many. But we're gonna get one more level. We'll try maybe a little bit of a different mix. Maybe one more. We have to figure out basically how many hits we take in that short span of time, and kind of balance it with all this other stuff, cooldown reduction and everything else. We have to basically figure out this kind of balancing act. Okay, we're basically at the danger point again. Around the middle of the blue orb. We've got a little bit better balance now. I also took about 1 million gold worth of the percentage armor boosters, which I think might have actually finally taken 1 point off. Here we go. I think this is the problem area. Oh gosh, may need a little luck here. I think that's the third one. I think there's maybe 2 more coming here. Okay, there's one. Okay. Oh man, this was probably mostly based on luck. This is the farthest we've gotten so far. All right, as long as I think this is the furthest we've gotten. Give me a boss. Give me a boss. You know what? I'm gonna go to the formation. I'm gonna get the knight ready to come out just in case. Oh no. Oh my gosh, I think we finally did it. That was ridiculous. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Okay, well, it looks like we at least have a setup where it's possible. Oh, got to the boss. Oh my gosh, that was ridiculous. Bosses usually pretty much melt. This one didn't, but oh my gosh, 340 seconds. Kind of, that was kind of a nightmare. Oh my gosh, whew, boy, all right. Well, let's go back to somewhere chill, let it sit for a minute, and then take on that boss. I gotta take a break for a little bit. Ooh, that was crazy. All right, let's take a peek at this boss. See if it's the same one. It is. It's the Anubis. This is going exactly the same as it did last time. He's going to use a huge attack that's going to probably kill my ranger. There goes the ranger. And didn't even matter. And we're past it. That was easy. I didn't even have to edit the build or anything. Man, I did not see this coming, but we're in Act 3-1. And I guess we're back to progressing. I guess let's just see how far we can take it. I guess we can at least see kind of where things sit, and then we already know basically what the best things are to farm in Act 3. We already know it's basically going to be 3-1. So what I'm going to do, we've still got a couple hours left tonight. We got through that way faster than I thought. I didn't expect that we were even going to be able to get through that actually at all, like tonight potentially. That's insane. So we already basically know that from last time that 3-1 seems to be basically just the best zone for XP farming, which is what we're going to be setting up for overnight. 3-1 is a level 46 zone. Let me look at what Act 3's got going on. It's going to go level 46, 47, 48, 49. Oh, and then 50. So I guess if we could get to 3-5 and do 50, there's a chance we would be interested in that. And then 50, 51, 51, 52, and then the boss is a level 52. That's interesting. All right, we'll open the stage boss chest, which is a soul stone, the comment, and then let's take a little peek at what we get here. A Crimson Bracer. Okay, wow. So that's a rare HP regen per second +3. Well, we know that's going on the priest. What does the priest have right now? 6% increased area of effect? Yeah, that's gone. Oh, well, it requires level 40, so we will wait on that. And that means that you can get some potentially kind of decent accessories HP regen from that boss. I think we're going to go ahead and do the same play as last time, since we basically know that we're going to be farming overnight at this point. It's about 2 hours left in the night. I think we're pretty much just going to set up for that. We'll get plenty of level 40 gear, and then we'll save our soul stones for a big session of killing the Act 3 boss tomorrow, which worked absolutely beautifully last time. And we will probably looking like we're going to hit level 50 tomorrow. Man, this is just going so much faster than I thought it was going to go. So let's go ahead and chill a little bit, do some chill progression, kind of take a little bit of a break here. I wonder what everybody has been thinking of this game. Number 2 concurrent players game on Steam last I checked, which is absolutely nuts. Go ahead and zoom in here, which we always do. We'll always show this is a full-on Let's Play that shows the whole game. We're always going to show progressing through zones for the first time. I was almost thinking, I was a little worried almost on that last zone that there was basically a chance that somehow I would, if I wanted to just sit there farming 2-9 for a little bit or just leave it on, we could somehow get lucky and I walk away and not capture it. But that did not happen. I'm sure we still got pretty lucky probably. Whew, man. That was, man, getting through that stage was just absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Oh boy. Kind of tired me out a little bit and tired me out. Let's see how long it takes to get through this zone. I remember the last time we did it, I was surprised at how fast it was the first time in the normal act. The Ranger's AoE is been insane so far. The one that when you attack a bunch of times, then it does a big AoE attack. It looks like it's basically one-shotting. Yeah, it does about like maybe 5,000. Looks like it one-shots everything. We'll probably go ahead and swap the Ranger back to using the other AoE spell as well. All right, we got a stage treasure chest. We don't get to see how long it took. So the Frozen Battlefield, stage 3-2. Let's take a look at this chest. Ooh, an Obsidian Shard. I think that's kind of useful. The Obsidian Shard is the one that on accessories is a decoration for 10 to 15% increased attack damage. We will definitely give that to our Ranger at some point. Now, I am assuming at some point what's going to end up happening is the fact that we don't have any cold resistance is probably going to end up killing us in one of these cold stages, so we will see. Oh boy. But I remember we had, I think, basically no problem with Act 3 last time, from what I kind of recall. I think we got through, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zones or something before getting stuck. And then just hopping back to 3-1 because the XP was just so much better than every other zone. So yeah, these are going to take a while to get through. Pretty slow going. Crazily so. One thing I could do, I could go ahead and swap the Priest over to more of a kind of an attacker. We've got the movement speed back on already. I'm going to go ahead and sell. I've got a ton of commons and stuff in my inventory. I'm going to go ahead and sell those. While we're working through this here. Boom, 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 boom. Get 40,000 there. We got a rare, ooh my gosh, attack damage plus 25 rare rune gloves. I think I already got at least one of those, if not more. That's actually going to be an absolutely massive upgrade for our DPSers. Right now the DPSers got 8% increased attack speed and a plus 3 attack damage. So once that level 40 hits, those rune gloves are actually going to be a serious buff. Okay, it looks like the movement speed boots are still off on my sorcerer. Let me go ahead and throw those back on there. Move a little bit, get a little faster through these zones here. Oh boy, and I think I can actually go ahead and stash some of this stuff. Some stuff in my inventory. I think I can here. Stash a few things here while we're going through. These are a little bit of some slow zones here. Okay, yeah, I've got in my stash. Okay, so I now have 2 pairs of these rare rune gloves, which give attack damage plus 25, which is actually massive. So as soon as we hit level 40, so we will try to hit level 40 tonight, because that's going to speed up our farming substantially, actually. Alrighty. Alrighty, so checking out what's going on here in this zone still. I don't think there's been anything too crazy yet. What I will probably do, I'll probably start watching out at some point a little bit for when we start taking some cold damage. Wow, the priest is only taking 1 damage. Why are these zones so much easier than the Act 2 ending zones? Like, why is my priest taking so little damage? Doesn't even totally make sense to me, I think, at this point. But, guess I won't think too much of it. After this zone, I think I need to take a little break. I actually kind of struggle sometimes to do long stretches in one go, so because of some various reasons. So I think what I'll do is we'll take a little break. I think I'll go back to 3-1 and go ahead and time out, 10 minutes and see what kind of XP we're getting just out of it, because I'm quite curious if it's going to be like the last time where it was just a massive XP boost like the previous times, and then after that we'll continue progressing. I guess this video, I didn't expect things to go this way. I honestly really was pretty not confident that we were ever going to be able to get through that Zone 2-9 tonight, because I really needed to save all of as much fire resistant stuff as I possibly could, and I kind of screwed that up. The reason why was because, for maybe some people will remember when this happened, we had negative 20% fire resistance, and I assumed that if I got some fire resistance, it would actually change the numbers of damage I was getting dealt. But when I added like 9% fire resistance, it basically just didn't do anything. And it looks like the reason why is because negative 20% does not boost the damage that's done, and so it only starts kicking in once you go over 0%. And I didn't realize that. I was kind of thinking it just wasn't doing anything, because the 9% resistance literally didn't change the number at all. But I'm pretty sure I pretty much understand the mechanic now. I'm gonna go ahead and take a guess and say that that's how it works. Got a common chest here. Ooh, a rare rune plate. Let me look and see what that is. Let's say 300 armor. It's basically, it's just a chest piece, level 40, 300 armor, and 11% increased max HP. Decent. All right, I'm sure this boss will melt 360 seconds. Well, 3-1 is definitely a lot faster. Glacial Cave. All right, let's do some chill 3-1 farming for a little bit and kind of see the state of things. So I'll take a little break and go ahead and time this out. We'll do a pretty good test on this one. Let's see if who's the lowest level. All right, priest lowest level. You know what? I'll just start my timer right when the priest hits 9 million. And then we'll just take a look and see where we get to. All right, there's 9 million. Got a little timer started. Let's see where we're at. This should be as good as we can get for tonight, I think. All right, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and mostly be a man of my word, I think, and pretty much call it a day, but not 100%, because we're gonna do a tiny bit more progression. Instead of zooming in on the progression like I have done, I think we'll stay zoomed out for a little bit. I've got my team in kind of a farming setup. I went ahead and tested Zone 3-1 with a couple different setups, and ultimately the setups would either give me around somewhere between basically 22 million to 23 million XP per hour. That is a new high, I believe. I haven't tested 3-2, but I feel like 3-2 is kind of the same zone as 3-1. So I wonder if I tested 3-2 very much the last time around. So I feel like probably 3-1. I think I must have. I think 3-1 was the best last time. But we're back to kind of a farming setup. I've got pretty much all the move speed I can get. So you can go ahead and watch the progression if you would like to. I don't think there's much too different to see, so I don't think I'll kind of zoom in. It's not like the first time we're going through these. It's the second time, and they're pretty similar to the first time. So just kind of leave it zoomed out. I think we're going to be doing these zones a bit, and that way it'll let me check all of the new gear I got and do a little bit of kind of final, let's call it end of night planning. I got some random stuff I was sitting on. I think we can go ahead and pretty well figure out, oh, okay, the priest is going to die, so we do actually need to change some things around. An elite shield? Are you kidding me? What is this? Level 40 immortal? Holy, whoa, all elemental resistance plus 13%. Okay, this is probably going to be one of the best items we'll ever get. Okay, our priest is going to need the healing back, or we're not going to be able to get through this 3-3. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it in time, but let's see here. Try to refund a little bit of some stuff here. Okay, unequip the Wrath of Heaven. Equip this. Oh, got defeated. Darn, gonna have to redo that one. That's unfortunate. Go ahead and equip the heal back on there. Level that back up. And we can go ahead and refund the Wrath of Heaven. So, yeah, we can't have the total farming setup with the Wrath of Heaven setup, which is probably why 3-1, whenever I had what seemed like a good farming setup there, actually didn't go as well as I feel like it should have in terms of XP gain. Go ahead and get these back on here. And our priest actually leveled up again, so go ahead and just max out that damage absorption for now. And it should be good. For our ranger, we'll just take another point of attack speed. And for our sorcerer, we're about out of stuff to do here. Level 39, which is just in time. Wonder what we'll be getting. Looks like we'll be getting attack damage, and I think that's cooldown speed next, and some kind of a skill cooldown reduction. Have to figure out what we'll do between those choices. Wow, so that was insane. I didn't see what kind of chest this came from. It actually would have probably been kind of nice to know if this came from a common chest or not. Level 40, Immortal, all elemental resistance plus 13%. So it looks like the Knight is probably going to be necessary, I'm thinking. What? A Lapis Lazuli? Another Immortal Grade. Okay, that one came from a boss chest. I'm pretty sure I was watching that. What is happening right now? Whoa, it's an Immortal Grade decoration material. Intermediate decoration material used to decorate an item, granting a special stat boost, of course. Are you kidding me? Accessory decoration effect is 30 to 35% increased movement speed. That's going to have to go on something pretty good, I feel like. Because I feel like we're going to be using this probably into the end game for basically speed farming, and that's actually probably going to substantially speed up our farming tonight. If we want to use it, we honestly, I'm thinking we probably save this. Yep. Yeah, I think we're going to save that. That's just too good. 30 to 35%, and that's guaranteed on an accessory. I think that's actually a little bit too strong to kind of risk wasting, although it will speed us up so much. I don't know how rare this is. Oh gosh, I don't know how rare this is. Unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to just stash it. I'd love to use it. This, gosh. Well, we're gonna be leveling our knight up. I had already pretty much decided we were gonna start leveling that knight up, but with this shield now, it's gonna happen for sure. And this, we can go ahead and really buff up a lot, because I'm starting to kind of learn which things that we get that are probably not going to be upgraded for a long time, and I feel like a immortal subweapon is probably one of the rarest things you can get in this game. So anyway, the progression is going totally fine. Now the regular chest. All right, back to non-immortal. We got 2 immortals in a row. Let's see what these uncommon boosts do. Max HP plus 40. That doesn't really matter. This thing doesn't matter. None of these matter. This rune helmet, we might keep, one of a couple of these things. How about this amber gem, increased max HP on armor, which is pretty huge. Or effect, I think this is one of those ones also that was giving me accessories. Yeah, it was. We may hold on to this. We'll see. We can go ahead and alch away most of this stuff here. Make sure to not accidentally click that shield. Nice, easy 50,000 gold. So yeah, this is just kind of going way crazier than I thought it was. So we're going to get to level 40. Once we get to level 40, we've got 2 pairs of gloves that are going to get equipped onto our guys. We've got 2 rare. We'll start kind of planning out the end of night here as we're doing this progression. And yeah, I think we've pretty well shown these progressions enough that we don't need to really... Oh, you know what? Okay, our priest is going to actually die. No, the priest is not going to die. That was kind of crazy. Okay, you know what? I think it is time to go ahead and switch the priest back to the kind of big heal spell, because that was how we got through all these zones the last time around, and it's looking like it may be necessary again. given that zone stage, whatever you want, I'm just gonna call it zones, I don't care. Zone 3-1 is nowhere near as much of an XP boost as it used to be compared to the other zones. And given that fact, I think the reason it was before is because somehow we were just able to clear it just so fast and so efficiently and quickly, but it's not really happening anymore. And by the way, the Ranger, I also switched the Ranger to using this arrow rain, fire multiple arrows into the sky. It seemed like it was worth it, but I'm kind of thinking this rapid fire may be better. This piercing arrow has been absolutely insane. 308%. Yeah, that's been absolutely crazy. I feel like every time it always clears the screen. And yeah, it just seems like this arrow rain is just not really doing what we would like it to do. So I am actually going to go ahead and switch that as well. We're going to switch back to the rapid fire, unequip that. Okay, we beat the boss. Kind of missed that. Put the rapid fire back on. Level it up to 5. All right, and then... All right, so that's 8, 11, 16 here. So we only need 4 here so we can actually refund all those 4. We'll leave 4 in crit chance. And then we'll get back to attack speed. This seems like it's been pretty much the best. And for our priest, yep, the priest just keeps getting a little bit dangerously low. So I think that's going to be our ending point for the archer for a while. And we'll see how this goes with the priest. But the priest is just getting too low. So I don't know. Let's see what we got here for the priest again. That single heal. Let's try, since it always worked out before having the massive sanctuary regen. Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just leave it as is still for now. And this damage absorption plus 0.5, we have to make sure that it's at kind of like a break point that actually makes sense. Damage absorption is 16.2. Okay, so it is at a break point that makes sense. All right, everything's going fine so far. So we'll leave everything. So what's going to happen when we hit level 40? The last thing that's going to happen tonight, I believe, is we're going to hit level 40, and then we're going to call it a night. When that happens, we're going to pop these rune gloves, attack damage plus 25 onto our ranger and our sorcerer. Sorcerer is actually getting pretty close. It's going to come up pretty soon. That'll be pretty cool. Okay, the shield is getting stashed away. Definitely will be used. The knight will be getting leveled up. Probably tomorrow I will start messing with that and working on it. And the knight is going to have to get to level 40 at least, it looks like. And it looks like maybe the knight will be the one that ends up getting us through that 2-9 crazy fire damage the next time around. Maybe we'll end up having to use the priest plus the knight having LA resist. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. All right, so we've got those 2 gloves. So we know those are going on the DPSers. So if we've got any other gloves hanging around here, we're probably not going to really need them. We do have this green glove, and we've also got a legendary glove, so we do not need this green glove at all. Max HP. Technically speaking, in theory, we could use this on the priest, but I don't think it's going to matter. Go ahead and get rid of that. We will save this, of course, no matter what. It's a legendary. We've got this rune tome. We've got 2 of those now, and these rune boots are giving us pretty big armor. We'll save those. Soul cores, of course, are getting saved. We're just about at a point where I'm gonna start trashing this wood, because I don't like how much wood do we need? I don't know what to do with all the wood. I've been kind of saving a couple of these helms also that have these kind of interesting stats, like for example skill range. In fact, you know what? Did I ever equip any of these? What does this have? Skill range 18. This has skill range 14. Okay, so I guess we can get rid of that. Our ranger has just a max HP. Okay, this is better than that. It's been a while since I've messed with this stuff. And the other thing that we're going to do is I think we will do 1 more stack of 9 rares here to end out the night. 1 more random legendary. Everything's going totally fine progression-wise. And that means we can go ahead and stash a couple of these. These are, yeah, so we got some crit chance helms. I think these are useless enough that we don't need to worry about them at this point. Crit chance plus, but you know, I don't know. Again, for the DPSers, it's possible that they could, you know, use something like these. So we're going to kind of make that decision a little bit later. All right, here we've got an accessory decoration, 10 to 15% increased attack damage. I need to go ahead and pop that onto a ranger. No, you know what? The ranger's already attack damage, and attack damage. Okay, so never mind. That's actually done. There's a weapon decoration. Okay, well, that'll just get saved now, I guess. And then... Oh, okay, it was going to go on here. So once we hit level 40, another thing that'll happen is we can put... Oh, no, this is going to be going on our priest, actually, because it's HP regen. So that'll go on our priest, HP regen. Yeah, okay. That'll be pretty strong, actually, for the priest. So we'll be equipping that onto the priest. And these 2 gloves, and we can save some of this other stuff, like this helm. And these boosts just in case. And that pretty well gets us mostly to the end of the night. Let's open a couple random chests. Wow, another one of these rune plates. Not going to end up using that. That can just get sold. All right, so pretty easy getting through that zone again. So it is looking like we are going to get to a region level 50 Hellgate. And I think that's... I have to call it at that point. It's... I've actually put a bit too much time into this today. That 2-9 just... It took everything I had, everybody, to get past that 2-9, and I can't usually... Oh, now we're getting some serious ice damage coming all of a sudden, but it's kind of interesting. It kind of feels like the ice damage just doesn't really matter as much as the fire damage. Oh, I remember this boss being kind of tricky, but when you kill it that fast, it just doesn't matter. Okay, the Hellgate. Okay, Hellgate, here we go. It's a new zone. All right, we're back to getting hit with fire damage. So maybe we won't be able to do... Oh my god, can't even get past that far. So we are absolutely stuck. I'm not even gonna mess around. The last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check stage 3-2 to see if the XP is any better. So I'll do that test, and then we'll try to get every... all I'm gonna do now is just do a little final testing to see which of these zones gives us the best experience. We'll hit level 40 with our sorcerer and our ranger. We'll give them these gloves, which will speed things up even more. And then we will be leaving things for overnight. And we'll do one final cube as well. So, and then we'll wrap this night up and we'll end exactly where we predicted. All right, so some of the final testing is done. And exactly, you know what, I'm remembering, it was in the same day. We did test 3-2 versus 3-1. And yep, 3-1 absolutely dominated 3-2 from what I remember before. And the exact same thing happened again today. This is just absolutely crazy, but doing 10 minutes in 3-2 is showing me that I would get 17 million, approximately 17 million per XP per hour, and then doing another 10 minutes again in 3-1, and I'm back to exactly 23 million XP per hour. So we're gonna end the night on 3-1. I think I'll take a look and see how many seconds these runs were taking that I just finished checking on 3-1, and then I couldn't help myself. I had to peek at one of the things that we dropped here. Got a common, random uncommon bow. Have I seen this uncommon bow yet? We're using a level... It's 63. So pretty similar, but not going to be useful because it's missing the slots on it. All right, let's see if this will show us... Okay, 225 seconds. So that's going to be the new time to beat. I think that's my fastest time so far. So yeah, I had to take a peek at this when it dropped and see if this was exactly what I thought it was. We tried rolling this before on the Ranger. It goes in an engraving slot in an accessory, and it can give you 15 to 20% increased movement speed. I feel like this is one of the craziest things you can get. It's also got that damage absorption, which would be really nice, honestly, but I think that movement speed is going to just be unbelievably good if we can finally get it on something. And we used it before. We hit the attack damage, so we basically can't lose anything by doing this. We are going to go ahead and try this again. First thing we have to do... to unequip this thing. Okay, unequip. Put it in the removal. We're going to remove the attack damage off a tiny little bit there. Grab it back. All right, this is another big gamble here. Let's see. It's going to either give attack damage or movement speed, 15, 20. And we are going to see... Okay, I was going to say, I'm going to be really curious just how much that benefited our farming speed, and it's not going to benefit our farming speed at all. In fact, it might have made it slightly worse there, actually. Fill all this stuff off, and okay, we'll just wait for those level 40 dings. Go ahead and pop these gloves on, and maybe before I go to bed, we'll do kind of one final calculation. Also, we're also going to end up popping this on the Ranger as well here. Let's see here. Maybe I'll go ahead. So I'll set a little bit this stuff up finally, and we'll do some final things and call it a night for day 4. Holy moly. After checking these 2 boxes as well. We don't need any iron ingots. We've got too many of those. And a level 40 rune plate is uncommon. Not what we're looking for. Go ahead and get rid of that. Okay, I just figured out something that might be absolutely huge. So what I was doing, I was saving a couple of these accessories because I wanted to see if we throw these into the synthesis, if maybe we can get an accessory back. And when I did that, I clicked it and I noticed something. Actually, the first thing that happens, because I don't think we're going to need this increased effect uncommon. First thing it says, well, it gives you some message like it doesn't match the type. Then you notice there's a little thing that goes here, autofill. When I click this, boom, it autofills with all accessories. So it looks like we are going to be able to save. So I'm gonna save basically every accessory probably from now on, because we'll synthesize them all together. Since it's really hard to get accessories, and especially higher rarity ones, this should be really strong. Now, here's what I noticed. If I go ahead and click this, there's equipment, there's accessories, and I had no idea that there's also materials, everybody. And I have never been able to figure out what is going on with this wood. In fact, you know what? Let's go see if there's any other categories on anything else. Nope, autofill. Nope, decorating and engraving doesn't have anything. Inscription's got nothing, and offering has nothing as well. So only the synthesis. Everybody, I've done everything I can to try to figure out what this wood does, and I've never been able to do it. It's taking up a lot of space. Synthesize 9 items of the same grade into 1 of a higher grade. I guess we're gonna have to just synthesize these. We're gonna end up getting an uncommon or a 5% chance of a rare from level 1 to 40. All right, well, I guess we'll go ahead and try it one time at least, because I've never been able to see this do anything. Okay, successfully synthesize an uncommon grade item for the first time. Tasted the power of synthesis. Huh, okay. I just got a Steam achievement. Not really quite sure why. We ended up getting the rare. That was the lucky hit. An emerald. Increased attack speed on a weapon, or chaos resistance, which I have a strong feeling we're going to need at some point. Ooh, and increased movement speed guaranteed on an accessory. That's exactly what we're looking for. Increased movement speed guaranteed on an accessory. That's huge. And the chaos resistance. The problem is, here's what the problem is we got hard stopped because we didn't have enough fire resistance. So we literally couldn't progress potentially. If I had screwed up a little bit more on the fire resistance, it's possible we couldn't have progressed. And we know coming up, there's going to be basically another instance of that, because what's going to end up happening is in that Hellgate that we were trying to get past, we were getting blasted away by fire. So it looks like not having enough resists can basically potentially basically hard stop you from being able to progress like at all. And so because of that, as much as I would love to go ahead and put that 20 to 25% increased movement speed on something, unfortunately, I just don't think I could take that risk yet. So I'm just not going to be able to do it yet. So that's going to get stored, and we need to make sure we use that correctly. And I've got so much more wood. I guess this is just what we're going to use wood for. I've never seen any other use for it. So I guess this is all we can really do. All right, level 1 to 40. Here we go. What happens if I change this level and put the wood in there? Let's try it again here. And also, let's see. Okay, 227 seconds here. So, yep, that's basically the same as where we're at. All right, well, I guess I found a use for the wood. And, wow, when I go level 1 to 10, it shows me ranges 1 to 10. So, 20 to 40 is definitely significantly better. All right, here we go. We'll do one more. We had saved up enough to do 2 of these. Ooh, we obtained a wolf fang. I think that's actually potentially a useful item. Yes, it is lightning resistance. So that's something, again, where we may end up being pretty crucial. All right, let's see what we get from this wood. We got an iron ingot. We got plenty of those. Did not need that one for sure. Wolfang, given the fact that it get lightning resistance, I'm assuming there's probably going to come some point in this game where you're going to get checked on these different resistances. I don't remember ever seeing chaos resistance ever be something that would potentially totally stop us. I would absolutely love to use that increased movement speed, but I've learned my lesson because we almost got hard stopped from being able to progress. So I'm not going to take any more huge chances, or otherwise we may get just straight up stuck and not being able to progress forward. Oh, there we go. All right, the sorcerer has reached level 40. It is time to go ahead and put these gloves on. This should be absolutely massive. Let's see if we can actually see how much damage increase this is. All right, should be a fireball coming up here. There it is. I can never see the damage from the fireball, but all right, well, it's too hard to figure out. So anyway, either way, boom, those gloves are coming on. Ranger will be soon to follow. And after we hit those level 40s, we'll do kind of one final check of how much XP per hour we managed to cap out at the end of day 4. All right, our Ranger has dinged to level 40. It is pretty much exactly 4 hours from when I started doing this final day 4 video, and it is time for me to go to bed officially. Get to level up our Ranger one little bit. Let's take a quick peek and see what we're gonna get for tomorrow. Elemental dodge chance. That's kind of interesting. Dodge chance becomes elemental dodge chance. Oh my gosh, move speed plus 20. We're definitely gonna be doing that. And some skill that we'll look at tomorrow. 229 seconds. I think that's actually slower than where we were at before, but I can't remember. Let's take a look at the mage here. Cooldown reduction 2% is what we're gonna start getting. We had 1% before. That could potentially be useful. And attack damage plus 2, we know that's good. And then, whoa, summon a meteor dealing 550% damage to enemies in a wide area. And the cooldown is 18 seconds. Could that be good? Might be better than our serpent guy. That'll be interesting to try out. Go ahead and get rid of this. And it would be nice to test some stuff out, but I don't have time. I was going to say is the 8% increased attack speed, could that be better than plus 25 attack damage? I don't think so, probably. Ranger does benefit a lot from increased attack speed, but right now the attack damage is 242. I'm going to go ahead and, wow, 242? Wait a second, 242? Wait, it goes from 242 to 304. I guess it's somehow including some kind of a percentage increase. Get a random common that will sell, as well as an uncommon that will sell. Make sure nothing crazy on that. Every once in a while, some uncommon, they might have some kind of interesting stat on them or something I might want to check. I'm going to go ahead and try that. Tomorrow we can potentially science it out against these other gloves here and see if there's any chance that maybe these would have been better or something like that. And the Crimson Bracer with the HP regen per second, that needs to go on our Priest, but the Priest is not going to get to level 40 tonight, so it will go on tomorrow. Oh, and I forgot about these rune arrows as well. Let's take another little peeker at our Ranger here. What I want to, this one I actually do just want to make sure that, I'm pretty sure these minor amethysts, yeah, we have tested these that the Ranger's dealing fizz damage, I'm pretty sure, right? So this legendary is going to go from 27, 8%. Yeah, this is going to be a big upgrade, I'm pretty sure. Let me just take a quick peek. Right now, the Ranger is dealing, let me just look down here, grab this chest real quick, Elite Bow. Ranger is dealing, it's so hard to see, 2137. All right, so 2137, and then let's go ahead and throw one decoration on here just to make sure. Guess oh, whatever. And now, because that's the only fizz damage. Yeah, so it should be just slightly more, and it is slightly more. It's 2279. Go ahead and throw one more on there. That, and now we are at. Yeah, 26. Huge upgrade there. All right, we absolutely do not need this uncommon anymore. And with that, we have a clean, empty inventory. After we stash these two, I'll throw the Crimson Bracer on the Priest tomorrow. That'll be totally fine. Stash a couple ores, and oh boy. What a day. I guess let's take a real quick peek at what the Ranger's going to get. Fire a deep wounding arrow. Oh, now we're at 221 seconds, so we did finally go down a little bit. Fire a deep wounding arrow. Damage increases by 100% per lodged arrow. 3+ arrows cause bleeding. All right, well, we currently have no idea how good that's going to be. We'll have to test that out tomorrow. And the only final question is if we want to do auto on both the common chest and the stage boss chest. I'm going to do just an auto on the stage boss chest, and I'm going to assume we can probably fill up our inventory again. By the way, today we spent pretty much every single piece of gold coin that we earned all on experience because I just kind of knew that was going to be the limiting factor, and a ton on the character strength increase. We'll probably do pretty much exactly the same tomorrow. Let's see where we're at for getting a couple inventory slots. We got 770,000. We can grab a couple more inventory slots. Starting to get a little expensive for overnight. And then the only other thing would be if maybe some gold increase might be worth it. 5% increased gold per kill. I have a feeling over the course of the night, these are going to repay themselves. So I think we will go with that. Gold from stage boss kill. I guess we'll see what's over here. Percent gold per kill also, and gold from act boss kill. 300k. Okay. We will go ahead and take these. 250. Dang it, we're 10k short. Well, that'll be the last thing we'll do for the night is we'll take that, and then we'll go ahead and switch the autos on and off of the common chest and the stage chest, and then we'll be done. So see you tomorrow.